Have you ever noticed that when you're having a rough day, it doesn't take much time in nature before you start to feel better? Dena Zavier here, and I am in one of my absolute favorite spots, sitting next to the Yukon River. And happens to be in Whitehorse, but there's lots of places the Yukon River flows through. It's a huge river, and there's something about it that just makes you feel awesome whenever you're nearby. I've been on it a few times. I had a dream to do something I'd never done before, which is the Yukon River Quest. And not this year, but last year I kayaked. I entered as a solo kayaker, and the beginning of the race was right by here, going down this river here. And I lasted about a day and a half. I was totally out of shape and very slow, but you know, that day and a half was pretty awesome. And still on the list. I would still like to do it again, but not this year. This year I'm taking up another challenge, and that is to do something I've never done before every week. And I'm going to invite you to come on the challenge with me, but I'm not going to, we're not going to start it right away because I want to give you some time. If you haven't seen the earlier video that I put on a couple weeks ago, I put a short video. It was my first Periscope video, something I'd never done before. And I put it up on my blog, where you're seeing this. And it was to challenge you to make a list of all the things you've always wanted to do but never done. If time and money were no object, what would you put on the list to do? It's not a bucket list, because it's not just something to do before you die. It's something to do in order to live. So I want you to go back and look at that video and make that list. Make the list of at least 50 things that you'd do if time and money were no object. Because it's the beginning of living an adventurous life, is to have a list. If nothing's written down, then you're just floating by, floating through. Well, floating like the river, which isn't so bad, but it goes where it wants to go, not where you want to go. So I want you to make that list. And let me tell you about one thing that I did recently that I'd never done before. I was at an event, Brendan Burchard's World's Greatest Speaker Training. And I'm learning. And one of the things I did that I'd never done before, I've been thinking about changing my name. I live with my married name. Haven't been married for over 15 years. And I figured it was time to lose it. But you know, it's a lot of paperwork to do all that, and I'm known with my old name. So I thought, well, I'm gonna change my name for my writing, my business, my online person, and I'm going to change my name there first. So my new name, Dena Zavier, is the one you know me by. I got business cards printed up, and I started deciding anything that I write, I'm going to put under that byline. So the weekend started with me getting on the plane, Air North, Yukon's airline, and in the seat pocket in front of me was a magazine, Yukon North of Ordinary, and there it was, the first time in print. Dena Zavier writing an article about paragliding in the Yukon. Check it out. If you ever get a chance to read Yukon North of Ordinary, it's an awesome magazine, but it talks a lot about the Yukon in the north, and it's pretty fantastic. Anyways, there I was in the bio section and in the main section as an article, Dena Zavier. I thought, and it made me excited. So when I got to the World's Greatest Speaker Training, I decided to introduce myself. That's who I was going to be for the weekend. I was Dena. I am not Denise anymore. So I changed my name tag. I put Denise in brackets and I put Dena. And so every time we do a breakout group, the first thing you do is introduce yourself. So, hi, I'm Dena Zavier. And every time I did it, it made me giggle and made me feel awesome. So I can see that this is going to change, and I am definitely going to make this change permanent. In the meantime, this is me, Dena Zavier. Write your list. Think about all the things that you would love to do, and in the next couple weeks before September, I'm going to challenge you to start your year of doing something you've never done before on the first week in September. I'll do it with you. So think of it as a 52-week challenge. 52 things I have never done before. Start thinking that way. You ever see the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? And he goes to some guru, some self-help guru that says, just say yes. And so he starts saying yes. He has a miserable life. He starts saying yes, and his life turns into being awesome. Well, a little crazy, but also really awesome. And that's really what happens when you start saying yes to things you've never done before. That's enough for me today. I'm going to keep looking at the Yukon River, and I'm going to leave you with a few pictures of our beautiful fall. We've got, it's an awesome time. We call it the fall. It is the middle of August, but it's still the fall. The leaves are starting to turn on some of the bushes. There's been snow on the hills around the town, and it's interesting because you can see the full, ready to pick fruit of the roses beside a freshly blooming rose. It's starting to change. Winter's coming. Best time to start thinking about adventure and what is going to make your life awesome. So thank you very much.